On Global TV News Express, Senate confirms Kingsley Ude as minister. In business, World Bank supports ideas TVET program to train 25,000 Nigerians. On the foreign scene, Mauritania's Supreme Court upholds former president's 15-year prison term. And in sports, CAF expands WAFCON team to 16 ahead of 2026 tournament. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on StarTimes channel 276. And now, the news in details. The Senate has confirmed Dr. Kingsley Ude, a senior advocate of Nigeria from Enugu State, as minister following his screening on Thursday. During the session, Ude addressed questions on both national and international issues, including the ongoing diplomatic tensions between the United States and Nigeria, stressing that President Bola Tinubu is handling the matter with diplomacy. Lawmakers expressed satisfaction with his responses and confirmed him after he took a bow, marking his appointment weeks after former Innovation, Science and Technology Minister Uche Naji resigned over a certificate scandal. In the meantime, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening national security and fostering international collaboration under President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris dismissed the recent United States designation of Nigeria as a country of concern, describing it as a misrepresentation of the nation's progress in tackling terrorism and promoting religious harmony. He said over 13,500 terrorists have been neutralized, 17,000 arrested, and 9,800 victims rescued in 18 months, while Nigeria's selection to host Africa's first United UNESCO Media Literacy Institute underscores the renewed global confidence in the country. Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas has urged China to back Nigeria's quest for a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council, citing the nation's strong regional influence and global contributions. Speaking during a visit to China for the 2025 Import Expo, Abbas proposed a Nigeria-China legislative cooperation framework and revealed ongoing talks to revitalize Ajaokuta Steel Company through Chinese technical partnership. China's Premier Li Qiang pledged support for deeper bilateral relations, joint belt and road projects, and Nigeria's enhanced role in multilateral forums, including BRICS and the World Trade Organization. And now to the health sector, where the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDCA, confirmed 176 deaths from Lassa fever across 21 states, even as it strengthened surveillance and case management nationwide. The agency launched an infection prevention and control e-learning platform to boost the capacity of frontline workers and distributed ribavirin and protective equipment to treat centers, noting that no new healthcare worker infections were recorded in week 43. The center urges states to intensify community awareness and ensure early diagnosis of suspected cases. And now talking education, where the Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, Architect Sonny Ochono, says collaboration with the Public Service Institute of Nigeria is key to building a more efficient and professional public service. He stated this during a strategic meeting between both institutions at the TET Fund headquarters in Abuja. Jummai Manson reports.
At the meeting, top management teams of TET Fund and the Public Service Institute of Nigeria reviewed ongoing partnerships and explored fresh opportunities to strengthen capacity building and innovation across the public sector. Executive Secretary TET Fund, Architect Sonny Ochono, underscored the need for continuous professional development to help public servants adapt to modern governance demand. He said, TET Fund remains committed to supporting training and innovation that would drive national growth and enhance service delivery.
So I urge you to take advantage of those opportunities, but I don't want to renew the assurances of having a lot of respect for the PSI and the work they're doing. And we are also proud of the collaboration.
In response, the Administrator and Chief Executive Officer of Public Service Institute of Nigeria, Barrister Imam Okon said the visit is to deepen collaboration with TETFund and reposition the institute as a hub for all public service training needs. She outlined ongoing efforts to expand programs in leadership development, digital skills, and pre-retirement training, while introducing new initiatives such as Smart P and Lead P to prepare officers for higher responsibilities. She emphasized the importance of Peason's Exit Masterclass, designed to equip retiring officers with skills for a smooth transition to post-service life.
We should try to see how we can get people that would retire at least 5 years ahead, start preparing them for exit, because it's not easy trying to integrate after being in the civil service for years, now trying to integrate into the marketplace, because the marketplace is very competitive.
Both initiatives agreed to work towards a new memorandum of understanding to familiarize their collaborations. The partnership is expected to promote professionalism, improve governance efficiency, and align public service training with emerging global trends. With this renewed commitment, TETFund and the Public Service Institute of Nigeria are setting the pace for a smarter, more responsive, and future-ready public service. Jumai Manson, reporting for Global Television News.
Let's now head to Benue State, where Governor Hyacinth Alia has flagged off the second phase of the federal government's Renewed Hope Empowerment Program for women, aimed at boosting livelihoods and supporting survivors of gender-based violence. Felicity Ndere reports.
The launch, held at the Pauline Maka Center in Makurdi, marks another step in the federal government's effort to empower women through the distribution of cash, food, and non-food items. Represented by the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Teresa Ikwe, Governor Alia commended the initiative under the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, describing it as a lifeline for women engaged in agriculture and small-scale businesses.
Of them, and she gave 10, and we are going to give the remaining people today. She also brought machines for survivors of GBV. She also brought for us today some bales of clothes, which we shall be taking to IDPs.
Other speakers, including the state coordinator of the Renewed Hope Initiative and special advisor to the Governor on Women Affairs, Scholastica Bemso, and the APC women leader, Helena Gagbe, highlighted the positive impact of the program on women's economic independence.
These items that you see here today is just a continuation of what was. The Honorable Minister of Women Affairs came to the state, and when she came, she brought these items that you see. This government is one that deals transparently.
Some beneficiaries expressed appreciation for the gesture and promised to utilize the support to grow their farms and businesses.
Women are crying everywhere before, but now the cry has stopped. The cry has stopped. Just because of you. You was there, but we didn't know that someone is there for us, we women in Benue State.
I so much appreciate the money given to me. I'm a farmer, right? And I'm going to spend the money on my farm. And I just want to say thank you to our governor.
The items distributed, which include rice, cash, and wrappers, were shared among women across the state, irrespective of political affiliation. Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global Television News.
The crisis in the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has taken another turn as the faction loyal to acting National Chairman Umar Damagun convened an emergency meeting of the Board of Trustees in Abuja. Our political correspondent, Ubong Usoro, reports.
The meeting, held at the Bauchi's Governor's Lodge in Asokoro, Abuja, brought together key members of the National Working Committee, members of the Board of Trustees, and other stakeholders. The emergency BOT session aimed to address the ongoing leadership tussle within the party and chart a path towards reconciliation ahead of the forthcoming PDP National Convention. Speaking during the meeting, Acting National Chairman Umar Damagun reiterated its commitment to peace and unity within the PDP.
A time when some have sought to manipulate our courts and intimidate our judges It takes bravery to stand for the truth and defend the law. The judgment is not just a victory for our party, but for democracy. And that, my dear party leaders and members, this is exactly what this moment in our national trajectory demands of us as an opposition. Courage.
Also in attendance were prominent party leaders who called for dialogue, discipline, and mutual respect among members. The PDP has been embroiled in a leadership crisis, with a faction loyal to National Secretary Samuel Anyanwu challenging Damago's authority. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express returns, CAF extends WAFCON teams to 16 ahead of 2026 tournament. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Tuning in, this is the live broadcast of News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital. And now to business news, where the World Bank supported innovation development and effectiveness in the acquisition of skills initiative of Nigeria's Federal Ministry of Education, also called IDEAS, under the Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET program, has engaged another set of 217 training service providers to train 25,000 Nigerians in various skills. Uyi Agbomofuigbe reports.
In her address, the National Project Coordinator, Blessing Ogu, announced that the project is about to advertise to engage more TSPs to train an additional 30,000 trainees, with the project having already engaged about 91 TSPs who are currently training about 15,000 youth.
IDEAS is innovation, stands in for Innovation Development for Effective Acquisition of Skills. It's a brainchild of the Federal Ministry of Education, fulfilling the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President, wanting to train Nigerian youth to acquire a skill. The essence, the objective is to reduce unemployment. We have so many Nigerian youths that are unemployed, roaming the street, and the government is worried about the state of the Nigerian youth being unemployed. That's why the federal government is focusing on skills acquisition, and especially TVET. Promoting TVET education in order to improve our GDP, our economy, and to reduce unemployment.
World Bank representative Mistura Adedoyin Rufai noted that the multilateral institution designed the TVET program to expand education beyond its formal and traditional form into a broad-based skills-driven system, with a particular focus on helping young people build capacity for economic relevance.
The bank is not just thinking about, school anymore. The bank is now moving to skills, from skills to certification, and then certification to employment.
The creation of the TVET 2 subcomponents under IDEAS responded to the federal government's request to increase the focus on resource-based contracting for skills training targeted at illiterate and numerate youth seeking employment. Uyi Agbomofuegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, says food prices are easing nationwide, showing that government measures are beginning to work as Nigeria moves towards food sovereignty. He listed key reforms, including expanded agro-pocket schemes, all-year wheat production, a new refined rainfield cultivation in Plateau, Taraba, and Cross River. Kyari also unveiled plans to reduce post-harvest losses through better storage systems and grain reserves upgrade across 8 states. Still talking business, the federal government says it is considering the sales of Nigeria's 4 state-owned refineries to attract investors, improve efficiency, and increase competition in the downstream oil sector. Special advisor to the president on energy, Olu Vehirin, said the move aligns with Tinubu's reform agenda to ensure a subsidy-free and transparent petroleum market. She added that the administration is working to reposition the NNPCL for eventual public offering and long-term operational transparency as discussions continue with technical equity partners for refinery management. And now to news making rounds on the foreign scene. Mauritania Supreme Court has upheld the 15-year prison sentence handed to former President Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz for corruption and abuse of power during his decade-long run. The ex-leader, convicted of amassing $70 million in illicit wealth, lost his final appeal after earlier rejections and had his sentence extended from 5 to 15 years. Aziz, who came to power through a coup in 2008 and left office in 2019, has been stripped of his civic rights and assets in one of the region's rare cases of high-level accountability. And on to the United States, where New Yorkers have elected leftist Zohran Mamdani as their next mayor, while Democrats won 2 key state governor races, sending an early warning signal to Republican President Donald Trump ahead of the 2026 midterms. The clean sweep among several ballots nationwide has boosted morale among Democrats, bruised by Trump's return to the White House, setting alarm bells ringing among Republican circles. Rara'u Nasir completes the story.
Mamdani, 34, is the city's fourth Muslim mayor and the youngest to serve in more than a century. The Democratic Socialist victory came in the face of fierce attacks on his policies and his Muslim heritage from business elites, conservative media, commentators, and Trump himself.
I will be sworn in as the mayor of New York City. And that is because of you. The dreams we've dreamt together become the agenda we deliver together.
The mayor-elect has a message for a political foe, Republican President Donald Trump, who had vowed to correspond to New York City if Mamdani won the mayoral election.
Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Mamdani now looks forward to one more historical event, having emerged victorious at the polls. Zahra Unasr, reporting for Global TV News.
In sport, where the Confederation of Women's Africa Cup of Nations will expand from 12 to 16 teams, beginning with the 2026 edition in Morocco. CAF said the expansion aligns with its goal of boosting competitiveness, exposure and development in African women football. The 2026 tournament will also serve as the African qualifier for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil, offering more countries the chance to compete on the global stage. Still talking sports, Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen has netted his first ever Champions League hat-trick as Galatasaray defeated Ajax 3-0 in Istanbul. The 26-year-old scored a header and converted 2 penalties, extending his tally to 12 goals in 8 European games this season. His explosive form has powered Galatasaray to a 3rd consecutive group stage win, cementing their place among the competition's top contenders. As Global TV News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. On Global TV News Express, the Senate has confirmed Dr. Kingsley Ude, a senior advocate of Nigeria from Enugu State, as minister following his screening on Thursday. In business, the federal government, under the World Bank-supported IDEAS program, has engaged 217 training providers to equip 25,000 Nigerians with technical and vocational skills. On the foreign scene, Mauritania's Supreme Court has upheld a 15-year prison sentence handed to former President Mohamed Abdelaziz for corruption and abuse of power. And in sport, you heard that the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has announced that the Women's Africa Cup of Nations will expand from 12 to 16 teams, beginning with the 2026 edition in Morocco. And that's it on News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, and on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim, saying a very big thank you for watching.